Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, February 28th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol NVDA. Very, very crazy mover today. Just had earnings, and this will mean more to those that have watched the previous videos. But if you did, I hope you remember me pointing out that red line there. So I'm not bragging about myself, but I am bragging about the tool of charts because I firmly do believe charts are something that all traders should learn, not because they're perfect, but because they are a very useful tool. So for those of you that are watching, you know that I put that line there, and if you don't believe me, I'm not offended. Just go back and watch yesterday's top 10 video. But put that line in there and look right where it got rejected today. Boom, right off that area of resistance. Not only did it get rejected, came all the way down to the bottom part of what was a sideways channel. And then this is where things get really rough. I mean, it was already rough enough that the price dropped all the way down here. But now the price even dropped outside of the downwards channel. So a very bearish day from a technical standpoint. And that's where the first update comes into play, just based on a foundational rule that states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if Nvidia does try to curl back upwards, 124.20 going to be that first key battleground to watch. And then the next key battleground from a resistance standpoint going to be up there, that 50-period simple moving average. And as of right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that line as it's not really relevant anymore, and I don't want to risk causing clutter and confusion because there's lines everywhere. Now, what I'm going to do here is go to the 4-hour time frame so we can look back in the chart's history easier. So that just means each one of these candlesticks now represents 4 hours worth of time. But you can see it's been quite a while since the price has been down this low. I'll go ahead and just get rid of that line up there too. But next key area of support where you could see I could see the price very realistically headed now right down there around the $118 mark. So not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or anything like that, but it's kind of entered in this no man's land here where I could see, like I said, the price potentially drift down to that 118 mark. But anyway, look at it. Very rough day here for Nvidia. Next one here, looking at QNRX, and very, very eventful day on this one, all over the place. Ultimately has seemingly consolidated out at a higher area. But that's where I'm very curious about this trend line here headed into Friday. So again, let's change that to green for support. So let's see if the price can stay above there. If it does, and that implies that the price is building higher lows, and that's always an important thing, assuming you're bullish. No price can go straight up, but you do at least want to see the price building higher bases. And as long as the price stays above that line, that is by definition going to require higher bases, which, like I just talked about from a bullish standpoint, that is a good thing. And then in terms of areas of resistance, we have this trend line down there, so just because let's make these a little bit more proportionate. There we go. And we essentially have this wedge formation that has formed, and the dynamic headed into Friday is, as you can see here, this wedge is eventually going to run out of room. So then it just leads to the question is, who is ultimately going to win this battle? Do the bears win with the push to the downside? Do the bulls win with a push to the upside? We'll have to see what happens, but grab your popcorn, and we're going to get our answer on Friday. Next one here, Smci, and another rough day for this one. To be fair, the markets overall had a very rough day, so it's not like the markets were booming and then Smci is drifting downwards. No, the overall markets, like I said, very, very rough day. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. I think it served its purpose for now. And now what I'm quite curious about in the near term is just this trend line right here. I think that trend line will come into play at some point, and I think it'll carry some significance with it, but only time will tell on that. But in my mind, that trend line here is carrying a lot of weight. But I also would not push too back. Like, Clay, I don't even think you really need to even focus on that red line. Just use the purple line there, the 50-period moving average, because that could also, just play the role of the resistance, to which I do fully agree. So maybe you're like, no, I'm not going to bother with the trend line. Like I said, I wouldn't put much of an argument against that. But nonetheless, just this general area here, whether you're using a trend line or using that 50-period moving average, I think that area, if there is any sort of attempted bounce, could present some problems in terms of generating buyers, back to the upside. In terms of next potential areas of support, because of the deeper pullback now, we're having to go back further into the chart's history. So next key area of support that I could see if the price drops down there right around 41.50, and then if 41.50 cannot quite hold up, next area after that down there right around the 38.30 mark. So yes, big pullback from those highs. Rough day today, but let's see if the price can try to curl itself back upwards and get through these areas of resistance. Next one here, ticker symbol ULY, and I like this formation here as it's consolidated out. So quick little recap, big gap up, nasty pullback. And when the price starts to get around here, very valid to throw out the question, is this just some sort of gap and trap, pump and dump? What's going on? And as of now, it doesn't seem so, because not only did the price level out, the price does have a little bit of an upward slope to it. Now, just because the price has a little bit of an upward slope does not mean for sure or guaranteed the pullback is over and that for sure or guaranteed this thing is headed back upwards. My core point here is it's more plausible to throw out that suggestion. If the price were dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like that could be the bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally still just dropping. But that's not the case here. It's leveled out and started to slightly go upwards. So it makes it at least an intriguing situation to throw out there. So on that note, key level of support, it's just going to be that trend line right there, which is illustrating the fact, like I said, that the price is slightly working its way upwards. In terms of the main area of resistance headed into Friday, I think the very interesting level where if the price can break up there through 75 cents, especially if it's a high volume break, no guarantees, but could I see the price, that pushing it back up into this area? I don't think that's unreasonable at all. But again, it's got to be a higher volume break of that level right there. So keep an eye on ULY if you like penny stocks, as it definitely had quite a bit of volatility today. Next one here, NIO, and overall, good solid day compared to a lot of these stocks that were getting absolutely beat down. Talked about this level in yesterday's video, how the price had broken up through that area, and it was just a question of was it going to be the start of something even bigger? And yeah, it was actually the start of something bigger. Granted, it's pulled back a little bit here, but overall, the chart is doing just fine. And now a new technical pattern here has formed. So let's get this drawn into play. Got to think a lot of people are going to be watching this, and I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So we have this area right there, a green for support. And then just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. So what we have here is a bull flag pattern. Just because there's a bullish pattern, though, doesn't mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But if the price can stay between here and it works way up to there and then get a push up through there, that would be a nice textbook breakout, which is plausible to think that that could lead to additional buying pressure. So if you like this price range, you like bull flags, here you go. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying and you want to learn more about the tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area you can use. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event. So a couple things, maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. That is okay. Send me an email to clay@claytrade.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay so that you can watch it at your better convenience. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one here, we are looking at TSLA Tesla, and the bleeding continues. It's not as violent as it used to be, as you saw it right here. But once again, still did put in lower lows, and but it's worth keeping an eye on because it's Tesla, very, very popular stock, and when very, very popular stocks get beat down, they can tend to make some very nice movements. And even if it's just a dead cat bounce, still from a trading standpoint, dead cat bounces can be very, very interesting to keep an eye on. So that's what we're going to continue to watch. I'm going to continue to, monitor just these downwards trend lines because that's showing us kind of the selling pressure. And if the price can come up and push up through those levels, again, that doesn't guarantee anything necessarily, but it does make it a little bit more plausible to suggest that, okay, maybe the bulls are showing back up. Maybe there's getting ready to be a push back to the upside. So watch that from the resistance side of things. And then as far as supports are concerned, we have that area right there. So basically right now, just a downwards channel. So if you like to play more so bounces, does it come down here and then bounce off that area? Is that enough of a profit? And again, no guarantee it bounces from there. But again, it's just back to, is that at least a plausible thought? And yeah, it has a track record of bouncing off that level. But if you like to play breakouts, and again, maybe you watch that level for the breakout, or maybe you're just wanting to get short and just continue to, kind of follow it down with that trend line. Many ways you can, play it. But my core point here is that such a popular stock continues to get beat down. When is it going to be that time where all of a sudden you get a nice snap back to the upside? Next one, TRNR, and I'm having a case of deja vu because I did this one yesterday and I talked about how, wow, that's an ugly looking chart. But you know what? Maybe, just maybe, with this sideways action, that's a leading indicator that there might be another nice move up. And there was indeed another nice move up this morning. But all of a sudden, again, all the way back down. So once more, sort of looking like a pretty ugly chart. Now, to give some credit's due, where it leveled out here is right here. Where it leveled out today is up there. So, and then where it was previously, it was down there. So if you envision each of those as stair steps, from the big picture point of view, to be fair, the price is actually making progress in the upwards direction. Now, I'm well aware that if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, or you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 seconds, from that angle, yes, this chart is a train wreck. That's not anything that you would really care about. So that's why I'm trying to distinguish my language by saying, if you do care about the bigger picture, then yes, technically speaking, the price is building higher bases. But yeah, today, nonetheless, still pretty ugly with the, again, big gap up and then almost straight back down. But it's once again gone sideways. So at least it's gone sideways at the higher level. In terms of near-term levels of resistance, basically top part of this little miniature channel that has formed right there at $1.50. So yeah, no doubt about it. The price just been kind of bouncing. So it's just really a question of, can the price get a move through the upside on Friday? We'll see what happens. Next one, MARA. No doubt about it. Got to give credit where credit's due. Good solid move to think that the price was here. And now it's all the way back to that area. But that does lead the valid question. Yeah, but is there any sort of genuine power behind this price movement? Is there any sort of true strength? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my opinion, it's all about this level right here at 1280. Why is 1280 important? Well, hopefully we can all agree on the logic that price movements with genuine power, true strength, the price is going to progress forward. It's not going to go straight up, nothing can go straight up, but at least show signs of progress. So if the price were to come down here, behave like that, and then curl back upwards, what would you have? Well, in this situation, you'd have a low there, you'd have a low there, you envision each of those as stair steps, and there you go, you have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. That's what you want to see. On the flip side, if the price comes down here and then breaks down through there, now all of a sudden what do you have? You have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and all of a sudden go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power, or in this situation, you could call it a dead cat bounce. So I'm not saying that it is a dead cat bounce, but what I am saying is 1280 definitely a very important level, because it is a very wise question to be asking. Okay, yeah, nice move, but is this the start of something bigger? Is there genuine power? Well, let's at least see if the price can make progress. And again, progress being defined as staying above 1280. Next one here is PLTR, and it was doing its best to hang on. I had this trend line in place, and earlier on in the day during a live stream, which by the way, I am doing live streams, so make sure you subscribe so you know when I'm going live, and you can swing by and make a request in person. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyways, during that live stream, talked about that level and how, okay, it's trying to bounce. So far, so good. It's trying to, stay above that trend line. And then you can see late day today, the trend line gave up, and wow, that opened up the floodgates to the downside. So that trend line has been totally violated now. And at this point, actually, did it even break through these lows? I think so, based on the naked eye test. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So now it's, and classic example right there. So 85.20 was that level of support, broke through there, and then just rules in charting state, when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And when do you know that? Broke down through it, curled back up, and that's right where it got rejected, right at that high. So in the very near term, that level, former area of support, would now be considered an area of resistance. Yes, you still have 91.80 up here, but before you really put any focus on that, definitely going to need to watch out purple line there, 50-period moving average. Look at how the price is now respecting that as resistance. So that's not to say that the price can never break above there. All I'm saying is that, before you put any focus on doing battle with that, the price is first going to need to prove itself by getting above, well, first 85.20, but then that purple line right there. As far as areas of support are concerned, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And next level that the price could potentially be now headed down to, right there around that 78.40 mark. So yeah, the chart's starting to open up here to the downside. But yeah, the bearish pullback continues. Next one here, WULF, and it's been a very eventful, mover. A lot of choppiness. Things were looking good, and I say were because I'm pretty sure the price is now violated down through. Or am I wrong on that? No, I am wrong. Okay, so there's still a chance here for the price to respect the trend line right there. It's basically sitting right at that level. But this trend line here is showing that, yeah, it's been choppy, but the choppiness has, an upwards angle to it. So it's still trying to do that. But as I speak right now, the price is knocking on the door. If the price does not hold above there and pushes down through that trend line, then the next key level to watch, and I would consider it a very important level of support, right down there at that level of 354. Why important? Well, nothing, huge, just because that would be putting it at newer lows that haven't been seen for a very long time. If the price does try to head back upwards, key initial level of resistance right there, that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And then if the price can push up through there, next key overarching level to keep a close eye on right there around $3.93. But yeah, rough day today, especially given how strong it started, but it is respecting the trend line. Let's see if it can continue to do that moving forward. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Like I said, it'll be this evening, Thursday, February 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But if you cannot make it live for whatever reason, again, go ahead and send me an email to clay@claytrnr.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay so that you can watch it at your earliest convenience. So thanks for hanging out. As always, if you appreciate these videos, if you like them, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, to help the channel out, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out a whole lot. So hopefully I'll see you here in just a few minutes, or not a few minutes, but a few hours. And if not, then send me an email so I can send you a link to the replay. Take care.